and Associates. And with me today we have Joseph Loughran, our Marketing Vice President. And we have two special guest speakers who we are delighted to have join us and take time out of their busy schedules to talk to our agents. So we really appreciate their time. And the first guest speaker is Stephen, who actually created the LEAD program. He's also very good friends with Kerry, my father, for probably 20 plus years now. So we love that element to this because it's not only a third party lead vendor who's pitching leads to our agents. This is a relationship that goes way back and beyond business. So we trust Stephen. We know he's always going to do the right thing, and so far this program has only gotten bigger and better over the years. So the proof is in the pudding. Obviously, if we're getting more and more agents to participate, then the program is working. The second guest speaker is Kent, who's a very successful agent of ours all the way from Texas. And it's important for Kent to join us, because he is not being paid for this in any way, shape, or form. And the reason why he comes on to these webinars once a month is, he wants to share with our field force and what's working for him and how the program has made him more successful over the years. So he's simply doing this as a favor to Levinson and to our agents. So we really want to take our hat off to Ken just to say thank you for giving his insight and taking time out of his busy schedule as well. So as you know, you've probably been on our previous webinars. We do host a live lead webinar once a month. And this one is a little bit different. We're giving out a free batch of leads to the 100th registrant of today's webinar. We will announce the winner after today's call. So we're going to run for about 40 minutes here, and then we'll announce today's winner. So great stuff there. Also, Kent and Stephen are going to talk about a few new tips, advice, little hints to make the program work for you. And then me and Joe are going to talk about what's new and a few of the new additions and tools and technology that we've added to our platform. And we're going to talk a little bit about the expo that we feature. It's once a year. We do an annual agent expo. It was just 2 weeks ago. Well, we bring in all of our top carriers from around the country, underwriters, keynote speakers, and we'll give you a little insight on how the day went with the Levinson Annual Agent Expo. Also give you a chance to start qualifying now for next year's webinar, so you can fly in from anywhere around the country and stay at our beachfront resort, and then of course participate in the dinners and events that we have all around the expo. So great stuff to come. Now is when you want to send in your life, annuity, long-term care premium so you can qualify for next year's events. All right, so Joe is going to talk about our upcoming training webinars. We're going to tell you what's new with Levinson, and then we'll dive into the presentation. Joe?
Thanks, Bill. As usual, today's webinar is being recorded. It will be posted to our YouTube channel as early as about 4 p.m. this afternoon. I do want to highlight some great upcoming webinars for the rest of this week and next week, just so that if you haven't registered, you can go right to KerryLevinson.com, click on the calendar of events, and register just like you did for today's call. So tomorrow, which is the 8th at 11 a.m., we're having a training that's actually sponsored by the Levinson Annuity Division and Phoenix. We're going over all of the Phoenix annuity products, tips and sales ideas for that industry, especially in the annuity marketplace, to kind of get your leg up on the competition. And then Tuesday of next week, which is the 12th, at 2 p.m. Eastern, another Levinson Annuity webinar. We're covering the Athene Benefit 10 product. Josh Hoffman is actually in our office. He is at extension 23. He heads up the Levinson Annuity Division, and he'll actually be working with all the annuity carriers to schedule even more annuity training sessions. So again, that one is the 12th at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then Wednesday of next week, which is the 13th, we're having a training at 4 p.m. Eastern on North American's Universal Life product. They've got a great mix of some Universal Life index universal life, and even some index universal life products that have a guaranteed rider on it, and you can even throw on an additional rider to waive surrender charges. So a lot of great, interesting products where we'll be hosting about 30 to 40-minute webinars. Again, you can go to kerrylivinson.com, click on the training calendar, and view every single one of those sessions.
Okay, thank you, Joe. So what's new at Levinson? And as you know, and I don't want to take away from the lead presentation here, but it's important for all of our agents to know and understand that we're out there every day looking for new products, concepts, carriers, new sales programs or tips to help you grow your business and obviously open more doors to tell your story. So we're not sitting back here in any way, shape, or form. We're out every single day trying to find out what's best for our agents. So with that said, we put together a few new additions here. The first one is we developed a press play annuity training series. So typically once a week or every other week, we are creating different snippets or little videos that will help you and give you sales ideas and strategies to plant the seed and sell more annuities, especially to your typical life insurance clients or prospects. So great stuff there. And also what we did, you write your first annuity with Levinson, you get a free 16 gig tablet, no questions asked. So if you're writing your first annuity, you send it in to Josh or our office here, and Josh Hoffman is at extension 16. You write an annuity, you get a free 16 gig tablet. So great stuff there to take advantage. Another new training series right below that. Now this will actually add a designation to your title for your business cards or your website or Facebook page. Okay, you can become a certified financial education instructor. We've teamed up with Transamerica and we're allowing our agents to participate in the program for a low co-op price. It's about $199. Typically it's about $1,000. So this is once again another way for you to get out and share your story and add a professional designation to your title. Just under that, lightning issue term is the only instant approval term life insurance product that is sold while you sleep, meaning it's 100% client driven. We just raised the issue ages to now up to 64. Okay, we have a consumer video and we have an agent video. So if you want to use the agent video to recruit agents or the consumer video to obviously gain some new clients and new policyholders, we can customize those videos for you and add a picture of you with your contact information. We can email them so you can then use them on your website, or if you want to email blast them out, just let us know. There's no charge for all of the customized videos. So you can look completely custom and professional by adding your own videos. Just under that, we have our free agent websites. Okay, if you go to insprofessional.com, that is where you can set up your own free website. If you're already using our service, we added new templates, okay, that are mobile accessible. As you know, these days, everybody's on their iPhones and smartphones, so now this will allow your clients and prospects to pull up your website from their smartphones, run quotes. We've also added a final expense quote engine and other new updates to insprofessional.com. I promise you, if you do not have a website now, you are falling behind. So if you don't have a website, let us know. There's no charge. We will get you up and running in less than 10 minutes. We already built the platform for you. Just under that, at the bottom of the page, we've just added Principal Financial Group to our core carriers. Awesome company, excellent ratings, great household name, streamlined underwriting, up to $1 million simplified issue for all products. If you want to jump on Principal Life, let us know. We now have a direct IMO contract. They really fit into our portfolio in a great way with some real neat niche products and a niche underwriting platform that no one else has. Okay, moving forward, Joe is going to give you an outline of the exclusive mortgage lead program that we're going to talk about today, and then we're going to talk about the lead reimbursement program share statistics and introduce Stephen. Joe, you there?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. So real briefly here about the Mortgage Lead Program, it's really unlike any other sort of lead program out there. What's really neat about the program is the leads are not shared. So when you're receiving a lead, they are exclusive to each agent. The minimum order for an actual batch of leads is 12. They are $18 a piece. And what the lead vendor actually provides, if you purchase a batch of 12 leads, you're going to receive 2 free. If you purchase a batch of 15, you'll receive 3 additional free leads. And then if you purchase a batch of 20 leads, up to 4 free leads. So those are to make up for any type of leads where maybe you can't get a hold of the person or it's not really a good fit for that specific product or client. That's really just something that the vendor does out of the goodness of their heart to give you some extra opportunities. And I won't dive into too much about how the leads are broken down. I'll let the lead program creator dive into that. But one thing that's very important to know is there's no minimum order contract. So you can try these leads out week to week. We don't automatically charge your credit card. We don't automatically send you the leads. We actually send out an email every Monday morning asking you if you'd like to participate in that week's lead run. If you do, you simply send in your lead order form or respond to that email requesting to actually receive leads that week. And the leads are delivered via email every Tuesday. So you can order those leads on Monday morning or Monday afternoon and have them the very, very next day. And a lot of agents ask me, well, how is that possible? It's because the lead vendor is constantly actually reaching out and mailing to different prospects and clients, so they're always going to have those leads available if they exist in that area. One thing we do ask is that since we are co-opting this program, of course, all business that you write as a result of that lead actually funnel through our office here at Levinson & Associates.
Okay, thank you, Joe. So this testimonial on the bottom here, and this is on our Facebook page, so you can see it's 100% legit, and the timing was just perfect because it came in right before today's presentation. Okay, and as you can see in the bottom in orange, this just came in from Andrew in Ohio. The Mortgage Lead Program is bringing me new business that more than covers the expense and opening up opportunities beyond the typical term insurance sale. Thanks for the good quality leads, Andrew. Okay, we didn't ask him for that. We didn't say, hey, we'll give you a few free leads if you write this. This is a true street agent that took the time out of his busy day to put up a nice comment about the Levinson Mortgage Lead Program. So that is priceless in my opinion, and that should tell you it's definitely worth a shot. A few sales statistics here. I think this is so important because when you get these leads, okay, and as you can see by the chart in front of you, they're typically not sold on the first shot around or the first time when you pick up the phone. So you need some kind of good follow-up system or CRM tool, which we do have already set up for you if you want to take advantage of that. But I'll just talk about 2 or 3 of these statistics that really stand out in my mind. The first one, 48% of all agents never follow up with a prospect. That is mind-boggling to me, okay, because if you scroll down a little bit there, it will tell you 2% of all sales are made on the first contact. 80% of all sales are made on the 5th to 12th contact. What does that tell you? It tells you you need to be persistent and consistent, which Kent says all the time, and here the proof is in the pudding, that you need to stay on top of these leads and have a good follow-up system or email blast tool. So we put together all the technology that you need to keep your name in front of these prospects. The last slide here before I introduce Stephen is the lead reimbursement program. Now, we're so confident in the system and we know the system works. Now, it's not for everybody, okay, but if you're willing to put the time in, like Ken says, the system works. You can make lots of money here. So the lead reimbursement program, what we did is we said, okay, you order your leads, okay, when you write in place a policy, so one of those leads turns into an insured or policy holder, we will reimburse our agents for the cost of each lead that's converted into a policy, okay? So that just tells you right there that we're standing behind the program. It works. Okay, next up we have Stephen, the creator of the actual program. And like I said, he's not only a GA of ours, but he's also a very close friend of our family and Kerry Levinson, my father. So without further ado, we're going to let Steve say a few words about the program. Stephen?
Thank you, Bill and Joe. I want to tell you guys I certainly appreciate you giving me the time to come on the broadcast and allow these agents what I feel is a very, very valuable way to do business with people and to really increase their incomes. And I certainly want to also thank Kent for taking the time, his time to attend this broadcast. He gives a lot of insight, and I'm not going to say too much. I think we'll all realize that once he gets into it after I finish. And certainly I want to thank each and every agent that is attending today. We have a huge group, and that's always nice to have the numbers attending, because it opens this. It tells me that we're opening it up to even more people. What I'd like to do is just start the conversation with a question. And that is, what is the number one thing that's necessary to make any insurance agent successful? And I think we all know the answer, and that is basically having enough qualified prospects to talk to. Talk about their situation, tell them about your products and how you can solve their needs. That's the name of the game. Another question is, and ask yourself this, would a steady supply of qualified prospects make you successful, or even more successful than you are now? I believe the solution to both of these questions lie in a program such as the Mortgage Lead program that I provide. I created this exclusively for the Levinson Group. The agents who have been participating, and Bill just mentioned a testimonial that came in today, and I love hearing that, but the agents who have been participating have seen a tremendous increase in the premiums that they are writing today versus what they wrote before. You know, that's the proof of the pudding, you know. The proof is basically that you start with something like this. It provides you that steady stream of prospects, and through that you see an increase in the premium dollars that you're writing. And that's the name of the game. You're turning these prospects into clients and ultimately into premium dollars. I want all of you to know something, that I speak from personal experience. Once I started investing in myself, investing in my talent, that's when my income in this insurance business grew expeditiously. I became a consistent earner every year, earning from $125,000. I've had years that I've earned $175,000. Ask yourself this: if you're earning that kind of income, or would you like to earn that kind of income, this is a good way to plateau yourself up to that. It again gives you that steady stream of prospects that you can turn into clients and premium dollars. You have to ask yourself, if you haven't tried the Lead program, why not? Why not? You know, as Joe just explained a moment ago, the cost of this, if you're ordering 12 or 15 or even 20 leads in a week, the price, the monies that you're putting out, the investment that you're putting out, is really so relatively small as to what the returns can be for you and what it's proved to be for people who are involved in this. You owe it to yourself that you should give yourself this opportunity to try this. And I think anyone that's done it, and certainly all of us that are talking about this, will all agree on one thing: it does work. It takes work, like Bill said. It takes the kind of agent that's persistent and that's organized, but it does work. And Kent will get more into that in his personal experience. If you're not personally familiar with this Mortgage Lead program, Let me take a few moments to explain it and how I, as the creator of the program, have taken the very most effort in bringing to the agents what I feel is the best quality leads that can be possibly provided in this program. Firstly, I want to tell you that every lead that goes out to an agent has been looked at, has been scrutinized and scrubbed for quality. As someone who has, and I still do, use this lead program, I refuse to send out to any agent any lead that I myself wouldn't feel was of value. What we need to do to get to that point where each lead is of value, we discard, we get rid of at least in any run between 20 to 40% of the total leads that we get in order to be able to distribute the very best leads to each and every agent. And that's a promise that we make to you. You know, I've seen a lot of lead programs, and some are not bad and some are awful. And, you know, what works with this lead program is the fact that these leads are generated by the people who receive the mailers. They've recently closed on a mortgage, and these mortgages might be on a new property, on a new home, or they may be a refinance. And they could even be a equity loan or a second mortgage. But whatever the case is, they're fresh, and the people have taken the time, their own time, and filled out the questionnaire, the profile that comes back to you as the information that you're calling them about. So these are not internet leads, and these are not leads that are collected through lists, you know, that may be accurate, may not be accurate. Each and every lead that you receive is accurate, okay, because the information was provided directly by the respondent, okay? And the nice thing about that is when you call these leads, you will very, very rarely get any resistance from them. They expect to get a call. They're happy you're calling them. And the conversation is not a adversarial type of thing. You're there to help them solve the need for what they filled out for. So you're on their side, and you really can't ask for anything better than that. You know, you're calling people that want to hear from you. You know, I just want to take a moment and have you visualize something, each and every agent that's listening, you know, because as Joe mentioned, the orders for the leads come in on Monday, on each Monday of the week, and the leads themselves go out to the agents that have ordered them by late Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday evening. Okay, and I want to mention something. I want this to be clear to all of you that haven't ordered, who are not too familiar with the program, that even though when you order, you list a preference for certain counties in the states that you live in many cases, leads will be outside of those counties, and that's because of just there's not enough leads or quality leads in those counties to do that. And the nice thing about it, though, is that, again, going back to our promise to the agents, is that each and every lead you will get, we'll do the best we can to give you as many in the areas that you prefer, but B, if they're not, they're going to be the very best leads based on ages and amounts of mortgages and that kind of thing. So you really have a good qualified lead to deal with. But I will say this, and I know it's been said before, it's very, very important for each agent that does order to be comfortable with selling by phone. And that means dealing with e-apps and drop tickets and that sort of thing, you know. So that's the parameters that we're dealing with here, because if you order, say, 15 leads, and of course you're going to get 3 free ones, so you'll have 18 leads to deal with, rarely will you have them in the 2, 3, or 4 counties that perhaps you listed as your preference. There will be leads outside of them, you know. I want to take a moment and just have you visualize something. I think I started saying that a moment ago. And that's when you receive these leads, Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening. And Kent will allude to this from his personal experience. before you get on the phone and start making these calls, and hopefully you're in a place where it's quiet and you're comfortable, it's a nice chair and all of that. And most importantly is that you have your quote system open, because that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be quoting people. Don't be afraid to do that. People appreciate that. So you're gonna have a quote system open. It may be WinFlex, it may be an individual company's illustration system, or what I've always preferred is the Levinson Quote Engine, because that shows you the whole array of companies. Okay, and that puts you in a situation where you have the lead, you're looking at it, you're sort of familiar with the names, the ages, that kind of thing, the profile of the people, and you've got your quote system open. And now you're ready to go. And now you're ready to quote, okay? There's telephone scripts that are available on the Levinson website. Look at them if you haven't looked at them. Familiarize yourself with them. They really do work. They're simple, but they really do work. Don't complicate this. Don't try to overthink this, okay? Because you want to spend more time when you're calling people listening than talking. Okay, you will always get more information from a prospect listening to what they have to say than you telling them what you have to tell them. Okay, and the wonderful thing about this, and again, Kent will get into this from his personal experience, is you're on the phone with these prospects, and you have the control of the phone call, and you owe it to yourself to pursue each lead as thoroughly as you can. In other words, you ask probing questions. Find out more about their lives. Don't look at a lead as, okay, he has a $185,000 mortgage, I've got their ages, this is what a 20-year term would cost, and so forth. I guarantee you, and anybody that's gotten involved in this lead program will tell you, that there is so much more that you can uncover in any given lead. There are a lot of jewels but you need to uncover them. You need to ask those probing questions, and you need to go further into the questions. Don't be afraid to. Don't be afraid to ask what type of work they do. Do they have dependent children? Do they have other life insurance? Who handles their life insurance? All of these things will start giving you a bigger picture of their situation. And as you get more familiar with this setup and more comfortable with this, you're going to start creating things for them. I mean, I used to love, and I still love, hearing people say, you know, that's not a bad idea. I never thought about that, because I gave them the opportunity to throw out some information that I could repeat back to them or regurgitate back to them, and it made sense. And it also made for a larger case rather than, again, just that 20-year term policy based on their mortgage amount. As I said a moment ago, it's very important to be in the position when you're calling people to be ready to quote. People appreciate that. They get calls from other agents, and these agents, in many cases, are insisting, "Oh no, I can't give you any numbers. I've got to come over to see you." And people are resistant to that today. They're resistant because, number one, they don't have the time to put aside for that. And even if an agent says, "Well, I only need 15 or 20 minutes," no. We all know from practical experience that once you slide your legs under their dining room table, you're there. You're there for at least an hour, perhaps 2 hours. So people are very much favorable. They receive it very favorably when you say, "I'm calling to give you some quotes, give you an idea what it'll cost you, see if it can help you with this." But along those lines is the way you're going to really help them and help yourself is do the probing, do the investigating, and basically. The most important thing, and we're going to see some sample leads in a moment, is you need to qualify these people. You need to know if you have a legitimate prospect, if they're insurable, or, because we can't tell that. The lead will not tell us that. The lead will tell us some ages, and mortgage amounts and that kind of thing. But it won't tell us that a 50-year-old is unfortunately in very poor health, you know, and that's a whole other avenue. But you know, keep in mind, and Bill just pointed this out about follow-up. It's so important. You know, there's only 3 results that are going to happen from the initial call. You can close them on the first call. It's not the usual, and I think Kent will agree with this. Is multiple follow-ups, and the first way is after you make contact with a lead prospect, is to send them an email with the quotes that you discussed. They have it in front of them. It's visually available to them, plus the fact that you have your contact numbers, which is important. They don't know you. They never heard from you before. So you're establishing some credibility with them. Following up is so, so important. Kent will tell you, I will tell you, anybody in the business that's done this sort of business before will tell you that multiple calls are certainly not out of the realm of being usual and being able to ultimately close a case. On the other end of it is after you've contacted somebody 5 times, 3 times, 8, could be who knows how many times, you will get to a point where you realize that for whatever reason, this is not somebody that you're going to close, that you're not going to do business with, okay? That, along with the third possibility, which is initially, you know, you just don't have anybody there to sell, they have no money, insurability, or whatever the case is, you discard it. The wonderful thing about this program is you have a steady stream, an endless stream of prospects. Go on to the next one, okay? I always said I'll file this with the eggshells because I'm never going to call these people again. I've given them every chance I could over the multiple times I called them, or on the initial call, we both agreed there really isn't anything I can do for them for whatever the reason is. The nice thing about it is you're not going into this saying, I got to make something of this one particular call, because you know what? Behind this call are other calls that you have, you know, and that's what's going to make you successful. That confidence that if you don't do it on this one, you'll do it on the next one, you know, and it gives you that air of confidence that you will convey on the telephone, you know. Joe, if we can just take a moment, I'd like to show the agents a couple of sample leads. This is what you can expect to get in the batches that you order. And I would consider this kind of lead a fully underwritten lead based on the amount of the mortgage, which you see on the top right of $245,000. And then if you look towards the center, you'll see the borrower as well as the co-borrower, and a profile of them as far as their date of birth, male, female, smoker, and their height and weight. In many cases, and I'll say this right off, you'll have just a borrower listed. That does not mean that there's another person, either a spouse or a significant other. First question out of the gate is there a significant other? And many times they'll say yes, but that person's not on the mortgage. Well, obviously you can still help them. And then you'll see some contact numbers. There'll be at least one, and in most cases 2 and perhaps even 3 if they include work numbers. And so you've got a good way to contact them. And you have this in front of you. As I said a moment ago, you look at it before you call any one of them. Consider the fact that, okay, this is one that's going to be fully underwritten, perhaps with Banner or Genworth or Transamerica or whomever you know you like to primarily put your business with on that kind of basis. The second sample lead is more of a simplified or non-medical lead, which you may use with a surety, for instance. Okay, and again, this is predicated more on the mortgage amount. It's a smaller mortgage amount. In this case, it's $64,000, and they're pretty young folk also, between the borrower and co-borrower, and all the other information. It's always the same as far as profiles and so forth. So you'll have all that you need to call a prospect and at least get the conversation going, you know. It's entirely up to yourselves as to where you take any particular call with these mortgage lead prospects. You know, there's so many things that you can open up with a call. Again, much more than just a term life policy. It could be other products. It could be a disability income. It could be annuities. It could be building life insurance for college savings or retirement or things like that. The possibilities are endless, and that's what I love about it. And when we do get testimonials in, and Bill shares them with me, it's usually about a case that's blown an agent away. It's a simple mortgage lead, and something magnificent came from it, and that's because the agent took that kind of time. I want to close by saying what I primarily started with, which is, trust in yourselves, trust in your skills, invest in yourself. Okay, give this mortgage lead program a shot, give it a chance, and you'll find the rewards from this, because agents that continue to do this on a regular basis are just turning in wonderful premiums week in and week out. Again, I'd like to thank you all for attending this, and I can't say enough about how we try to help the agents in the Levison Group. I thank you all very much, and I'll turn this back over to Bill and Joe.
Thank you, Steve. Great job. Okay, so next up we have Kent, who once again is an agent of ours out of Texas, and Kent's testimonial, which kind of started this whole process and introduced us to get him on the webinars and really got the ball rolling, was, and this came from his mouth to our ears, is the Mortgage Lead program really works. On day 4, after making my calls on the leads, I took an application for $8,285. Not a bad day. And Ken will attest to this, and he's actually had a few grand slams like this. In fact, recently he wrote one that was a little bigger than this. So he's just a great agent of ours, and again, he's taking time out of his day to lend a little insight to the program and try to help our agents. So without further ado, we're going to introduce Kent all the way from Texas. Ken?
Hey, thank you, Bill. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate everything that you guys do and the insight that Steve brings to us. So I want to open up, and I will close with the same thing, and that's what I call getting real. I'm an agent, and I'm all about being transparent. I believe that it's important for everyone to understand that I'm out there in the trenches, and I'm out there making a living and supporting my family. So this is real stuff, and these are just some of the things I learned. I'm not anything special. The first question I would ask, and I will answer it, but I may answer it different at the end of this talk, but is, do you ever believe this program isn't worth it? And I'm going to say absolutely. And the second question is, do you ever not make any money with this program? And I'm going to also say absolutely. I will make the comment that wisdom is, as everyone probably knows, is learning from other people's mistakes, and that's what this program is basically a trial and error where people have gone and done things, and then they try to make the super highway, the cut down trees so that other people can succeed or benefit from others' mistakes. So take advantage of it. We're all trying to do great things out there and feed our families, and this is one of the solutions to that. And I guess I'll also add that, what's the number one reason for an agent not becoming successful? And we all know it's procrastination. You procrastinate of whether it's following up with these leads or whatever it might be. So again, Kerry Levinson Agency does a fantastic job of giving us a solution to those challenges that we have. My background is real simple. I'm a hardworking guy from Oklahoma that moved to Texas over 25, 30 years ago. I'm an old banker, got into insurance, got my test out of the way, and added that on to my career, and it's a supplementary income, and I've never looked back. I've never regretted it. And of course, we know that getting prospects is the number one challenge in our world of insurance. So again, I would encourage you to jump into this program. I mentioned earlier being transparent to your people. That's really important. comment because when we're on the phone with our folks, one of the most important things is that we be real with our people, be real to your audience. Let them know who you are, stand up and make your phone calls and smile and just be relatable, because that's a real critical piece to, selling insurance as you get on the phone with them. I say these things because if I can do this, anybody can. I'm going to fall back on my earlier comment that I'm just an ordinary person that has worked hard and have 3 children, 2 in college and 1 in high school, and I still work really, really hard today. And I say that because it needs to be known that you're not alone, and that this is something that we all want for each other is success. And I've been in agencies where they held their cards really tight and they didn't share success stories to, and give their agents, I would call the secret sauce to becoming successful. And that's really the beauty of Kerry Levinson and Bill and Joe and these guys, that they truly want your success, and it's a win-win on both sides. The Mortgage Lead program is really an icebreaker. It's basically an opportunity to get on the phone and talk about opportunities and review their current policy, what they might have, or if they don't have a policy, why they want a policy. So just remember that whoever is asking the questions on the phone is the person in control. And think about that comment. Anytime you've had a conversation, you've either been on the answering the question side or asking the question side, whether it's selling insurance or just a conversation with anyone. And I'm just going to say that again, that whoever's asking the questions is in control of the conversation. So I would highly encourage everyone to continue asking questions and letting your prospects speak 90% of the time, so that it makes them feel like they have the control. Also, I'd like to say that people like to be led. It's an important comment, because when you're on the phone with people, leading those folks is really what they want. People typically in the insurance recipient world don't know what they want, because they can barely spell insurance when it comes to life insurance. We passed a test, and we've got some knowledge based on our experience, and we're expecting other people on the receiving end to understand everything that we already know, and that's not the case most of the time. So lead people, and you lead them by asking questions. Also have answers to your prospect, and have answers immediately. Steve mentioned having your quoting machine up and being able to give them quotes immediately. The way to win deals is to get to that person immediately, get them quotes and answer questions. A lot of times these agents are wanting to schedule meetings in their homes, which I think that's the perfect world, is to get around a kitchen table. But what you're doing sometimes when you do that is you're delaying time. You're giving another agent a chance to get in there and win the deal. And the way that you win deals is give them answers, gain their trust, and close on them. So I would highly recommend on the phone trying to do all the things, but mostly close. And also just some language to use in your conversation is, there's no pressure in our conversation. I just want you to know that there's no obligation to purchase. I just want you to have the right information to make a great business decision. So I would take those notes and use those. Again, there's no pressure and there's no obligation in our conversation to purchase. I just want you to feel confident that you're going to make a great business decision at the end of the day. There's 3 things I'd like to talk about before our close. One is you're going to have to create momentum in this business. And how do you do that? Well, you buy leads. You create momentum by buying leads and filling up your calendar. The calendar dictates our attitude. If we have a meeting on a calendar, we get excited because there's earnings opportunity. Create momentum. It all is the seed for all that excitement and opportunity on the calendar are the leads. We have to purchase the leads because we have to understand, number 2, that it's an investment. There's a cost involved in doing business in any business you have, and $216 will get you approximately 24 leads, the 12 leads plus the additional leads that come. So those 24 leads can equate to closing on 6 deals. If 3 get placed in force, because 3 might fall out, and you average $1,000 per lead, you're looking at 3 deals times $1,000. You're looking at $3,000, and you only spent $216. So that's the cost of doing business, and we all know that there has to be an investment. Finally, be patient. Understand that every call is an opportunity to sharpen your phone skills. So when you're on the phone, you have to understand every time you're on the phone, it's an opportunity to have a conversation to get better and better at your phone skills, because we all know that the phone is where it's at. Pick up the phone, make the next call. Pick it up, do it now, do it now. Pick the phone up, do it now. That phone can become your, it can become quite scary when you get a lot of no's. But just keep saying to yourself, do it now, make the call, do it now. It sounds silly, but it's actually how I've done things in the sales world, and it works. Remember that no doesn't mean no. It means not now. So if that's the truth, you need to follow up, because you'll catch a person on a bad day. You'll catch a person with feelings and emotions. No doesn't mean no. It just means not now. And I'll finish with 4 things that I believe are very important to the business. First, you need to be immediate. You need to make a decision, or I'm sorry, you need to be immediate on the phone call. You need to call them immediately when Joe gets that lead out to you, because if you don't, another agent is going to make that phone call. You have to be the first person to call, so be immediate. Second is to be persistent. Do it now. Be persistent. Do it now. No, I don't want to. I want to go do that. Do it now. You have to continuously tell yourself to just do it now. And being persistent, you have to weigh on the side of being a little bit of a nuisance. And you'll get a feel on the phone of how they feel about that, trust me. But I would say weigh on the side of being a nuisance. Be consistent. You have to have a calendar. You have to do things in an orderly fashion, or you become overwhelmed with what was the conversation, when did I last call, so take good notes. And finally, be decisive. You have to know when to walk away, and you have to know when to call the folks back. If they say 30 days, call back in 2 weeks. Don't wait 30, because I can assure you they're going to buy from someone else. I've had it happen. So I want to close. I think I've closed 2 or 3 times, but I will close here by asking you, do you ever believe this program is worth it? My answer is absolutely. Do you ever make any money with this program? My answer is absolutely. So the answer can be absolutely to both of those questions, but it's what you make of the program, because it's truly in your hands, and we all have to, again, learn from others' mistakes. Bill, I hope everybody takes some of this information and produces this week, and have a blessed week, and if there's anything I can do, let me know.
Thank you, Kent. That was great insight, and thanks for taking the time. And it's so true. You got to just keep going and going. And Kent landed a few nice size cases just by using that system, and it works. So great stuff there. Okay, Joe is going, and we're just going to skip around here. We have about 3-4 minutes left, and then we'll announce the winner. Joe is going to send out an email to everybody on the call, including our pre-made lead scripts that you can choose from, or of course you can use your own. We also have a mortgage lead program FAQ sheet that should answer all of your questions, okay? And even if we miss something, of course, call us anytime. You know that's what we're here for. That's our job. If you don't write, we don't make any money. You don't make any money, so no one wins. So we're here to hold your hand and help you. We have 2 other lead mailer programs for annuities, mortgages, and burial. And Joe's going to touch on this quickly. Then we're going to talk about a 1-page drop ticket e-app that you can sell over the phone in a couple of minutes to make things real simple. And then we'll end the call. Joe, do you want to talk, and then we'll go from there?
Yeah, thanks, Bill. Like Bill mentioned, I'll be emailing everyone this afternoon with all the material that we just reviewed. Also, really quickly here, we've got a great final expense lead program which of course is a little bit different than the mortgage program we just covered. But this is actually co-op by Transamerica. What I love about this program, if it's only $322 per 1,000 leads, the way this works is that since it's a co-op program with Transamerica, you actually submit the order every Wednesday by noon Eastern time, and then what they do is they mail out 1,000 of these mailers the following week. So your credit card is only charged after they send out the mailers. What's different between this program and other programs is that you can actually request a sales solicitation report, which is actually a report which will show you, based on the zip codes you provide us, how many qualified prospects are in those areas and how many of those prospects meet the criteria you're looking for. So you can specify income, age amount, the net worth of their home or their assets. So it really breaks it down and gives you a great process, of course, branded by Transamerica, which makes a lot of difference when that client receives that mailer directly in their mailbox.
Okay, and this is a complete turnkey sales platform that we put together for all final expense sales. So this is a growing market, as you've heard and as you've seen. You could be writing it now. You should be using our Legacy Safeguard Platinum. It's basically a complete platform from A to Z, which helps your client plan for burial. If they need any information on funeral homes or advice, there's an 800 number. We have flip charts. We have a customized CD that you can literally put into a DVD player or a laptop and go over the whole sales presentation with your clients, okay? Everything that you need regarding final expense is in this turnkey platform. So this is 100% free to all Levinson active agents. There's also a mailer that's combined with the program that, again, is a co-op mailer opportunity. So if you want to get involved, let us know. Even if you don't want the mailer and you just want the turnkey final expense platform, let us know, and we will mail that out to you for no charge. Okay, Joe's going to touch on our annuity mailer lead program, and then we're going to end the call. Joe?
Thanks, Bill. So we've got another great direct mail program for the annuity division, which of course is headed up by Josh Hoffman. You can call Josh at extension 23. This is a very neat program. It's $510 per 1,000 mailers. There's about a 2.5% average response. So these are specifically designed for annuity clients. You're mailing them about all these benefits and why they should take a look at these different annuity products. They're actually filling out their information and sending the card back. It goes directly back to you as an agent. So a great way to get your foot in the door and reach more annuity prospects. Also, we mentioned throughout the call using drop tickets and e-applications. If you haven't used any of these drop tickets or e-applications, we've got over 9 drop tickets, over 20 plus e-applications. They're very simple, very easy. A lot of these can be done 100% over the phone, very turnkey for you as an agent. And like we mentioned, you may have some of those leads outside of your area. It's not really going to be feasible to jump in the car and drive to see them, especially if it's a lower premium amount. But a lot of these can be done over the phone. Here's just a quick snapshot of the carrier logos that support the iGo and drop ticket application. So it literally could take you about 3 to 4 minutes to submit the entire application.
Yep, and if you need any more information on the e-app or drop ticket, just call any one of us here, and we will hold your hand through the entire process so you're comfortable. And I promise, once you write just one, you will be up and running on your own, very comfortable. You will love the drop ticket system if you haven't used it yet. Okay, my last statistic here before we close the call, if you look at the bottom there, 86% of all consumers researched insurance online before purchasing in 2013. That's a LIMRA statistic, okay? 86% of all policy holders went online to research you and the product before they made a purchase. What does that tell all of us? We must have an online presence, okay? We need a website. We need to use a Facebook page or social media because your clients are running Google searches and they want to see who they're dealing with, who you are, especially when you're selling over the phone. Look at those statistics in the blue box. In 2000, okay, 361 million users were on the World Wide Web or the Internet. 15 years later, that number is 4.2 billion. Okay, so the point is, if you're 16 years old or 88 years old, we need to have an online presence, and we need to know how to use an e-application, because most of our clients, they don't want to sit around a kitchen table at 8:30 on a Wednesday. And if they do, great, because you know you'll make the sale. But most, especially the younger generation, they want to quote over the phone. They want to sign up through an email. So we have to know the basics, and we're here to hold your hand. The 100th registrant of today's webinar and the winner of a free batch of mortgage leads they will receive on Tuesday is Tom N. That's Tom N like Nancy. We will announce the winner also on our Facebook page